Hi, and welcome back to Yonder's Deep Dive. This is the final episode in the series, and we're ending where every business discussion ultimately lands, which is the numbers. So, I'm Letitia, and with me today is Guy. Hi, Guy.
Hello.
Hiya, and we're going to go and take you through this last of our Deep Dive Yonder series. So here's the reality. You might watch all 7 of these episodes that we've put together. You feel generally excited about what AI can do for your operation. You sit down with your business partner or an owner or a finance person, and they will ask the question, what's the actual return? So today we're going to give you the data to understand the answer to this question and hopefully some real world examples for you to be able to take back to these people and answer that question that they're ultimately going to ask. So AI tools should pay for themselves. They should measure or generate measurement value. So in revenue, in time, in guest experience, and it should clearly exceed what they cost you to run. So if a tool can't demonstrate that, it shouldn't be in your tech stack. The good news is that Yonder's ROI is genuinely measurable. So it's not a vague promise about getting better guest experience or increased brand awareness, even though that's some amazing things that we do. What it shows up is specific, traceable, or trackable numbers. So bookings generated, inquiries handled, hours saved, reviews collected. So we're a big believer at Yonder in tangible data. So we're proud of our metrics, and you may recall already if you've watched some of our other episodes that we have tourism operators that are achieving 9 times their ROI each month. Or you might have read in some of our case studies online that some of our operators, are achieving ROI in like the first couple of days of the month from their products that they're using in Yonder. Now, just a quick note before I pass it on to Guy that it's worth noting that according to Euromonitor, 97.8% of travel executives believe that AI will have a significant impact on our industry over the next 1 to 5 years. So the question isn't whether to engage with it, it's whether you're going to measure it properly when you actually do. So now I'm going to pass it over to Guy, who's going to talk to you about one of the measurements that Yonder is really good at tracking for you. All yours,
Yeah,
Guy.
thanks, Atisha. So let's start with time because it is often the most immediately visible ROI for operators. Routinely get inquiries and emails throughout your tourism business, and it can often be relentless. So things like availability questions, pricing questions, what should I wear? Is there parking? All those sorts of questions. Each one of those takes about 2 to 5 minutes to answer individually, and across a week, across a season, that adds up to an enormous amount of staff time spent on questions that generally have the same answer each and every time. So Yonder operators actually end up saving an average of 16 or more hours per month on routine inquiry handling. That's 2 full working days that's redirected every month from answering repetitive questions to delivering experiences, developing the business, or simply just giving your team some breathing room during peak season. And that getting time back is important. So one operator ended up actually saving 37 hours in a single month. That's close to a full working week recovered in 31 days. Imagine what you could do with that. So apply your team's hourly rate to those numbers, and then you'll give you a dollar figure of where that sits. And for most operators, that number alone covers a significant portion of the platform cost. Can we shift on, Letitia? I
Yep.
want to kind of look at
Yep.
the revenue side, and that is kind of where the numbers actually get significant. So Yonder's operators see an average of 10 to 20% increase in direct bookings after implementing the platform. So average average attributed revenue per chatbot runs at about 8,000 per month. So 95% of the inquiries then that are coming in are handled automatically. And that means that the cost per conversation drops dramatically as the volume scales. So, for context on why response speed is so commercially important here, Harvard Business Review found that companies replying to an inbound sales inquiry within 1 hour are 60 times more likely to qualify that lead than those who take 24 hours to respond. 60 times. Great thing about a Yonder chatbot is that it responds in seconds around the clock. So that's not just an efficiency improvement, It's a structural revenue advantage over every competitor in your market who's still relying on manual responses. The third avenue here is our reviews in terms of our ROI story. And they're often the most overlooked when operators are calculating return. It's interesting. So Yonder's survey and review tools generate feedback at 10 times the industry average response rate. So that's looking at 35 to 50% versus the standard 5%. And that translates directly into review volume, review recency, and review visibility across Google, TripAdvisor, and Facebook. And the revenue impact of that is definitely well documented. Another Harvard Business School study found that 1-star increase in ratings can generate a 5 to 9% increase in revenue. Hotels that respond to reviews receive 12% more reviews and see measurable rating improvements as well. And operators who respond consistently are also increasingly favored by AI-powered search tools such as Google AI Overview and others, which means more organic discovery, more traffic, and more bookings feeding into that same funnel. It's important to note is that reviews compound, so every good one makes the next booking more likely, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's very true. Thanks, Guy. So if you're taking this to a business partner, like I'm going to go back to what we started with, and if someone's asking you, where is the numbers when it comes to AI in your business, it helps to have a clear timeline for when you can expect to see these results that we've just touched on and Guy's just touched on here. So here's how the Yonder ROI picture typically develops over the course of working with an operator for us. So at 30 days, your voice agent and chatbot are live, inquiries are being handled automatically, and you're establishing your baseline metrics. So your volume, your response rate, your conversations handled, first bookings attributed, so forth. So at 60 days after being live, your review volume should be starting to climb, and Guy and his team work with you to make sure that you're achieving all these sort of milestones, if you like, as well. Conversion data starts to accumulate, the staff time savings starts to be really visible, and your team can actually start feeling it for themselves. So you're starting to see a real pattern developing. And then by 90 days, so you've been live for 3 months with Yonder by now, you should have a full picture. And Guy, you would agree here, you see it all the time when you're working with operators, that you do see a full picture of what's happening. You can see attributed revenue, your inquiry volumes, conversations handled, reviews generated. You'll be able to see in the dashboard when your phone calls are coming through and when the voice agent is actually the most busiest, if you like. And also a really cool thing with Yonder is that your GA4 data is confirming the chatbot to booking path. So it's all linked together into the one dashboard. So the ROI case is no longer theoretical, but it's documented all within the Yonder dashboard. And Guy and his team help you to make sure that you have got a clear understanding of where this is, what's happening, and are happy with the outcomes of that. So that's the Yonder Deep Dive series. We've made it really short and sharp. It's been 7 episodes covering every part of the AI-powered guest engagement picture, from the big trends to the specific tools to the ROI framework. So the through line across all of this is that operators pulling ahead right now aren't necessarily the biggest ones or the ones with the most staff or the ones spending the most on marketing. They're the ones who've built systems that work around the clock. They answer every inquiry, they collect every review, and they measure everything. So Guy, is there anything else you'd like to add into there?
Yeah, well, I mean, as you mentioned, it's a 24/7 business now, isn't it?
Yep.
So
Yep.
the numbers are there to find, and yeah, Yonder gives you the tools to generate them and the dashboard to track them and view them. So if you're ready to see what this looks like for your specific operation, head over to our website. So that's yonderhq.com, book in a demo. We'd love to show you, and I'd love to meet you. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
everyone. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.